A newspaper boy is selling evening papers, announcing the Titanic's sinking a day after the tragedy. This took place in London on April 16, 1912. Hundreds of people, many of whom have lost their homes through bombing, now use the caves in Hastings, 1940. Okay, here we go. Urban window baby cage, New York City, 1930s. Michael Jackson posing with a kitten in the 1970s. Putting the Goddess of Liberty atop the Texas State Capitol, 1888. The future Queen Elizabeth II being carried up the steps of Balmoral Castle in 1927. Okay, here we go. This is an advertisement for an anti-malaria drug from 1941. It says, malaria can be prevented. Then it goes on. If you live in or are going to a malaria district, consult your physician. And finally, take the medicine as directed. Marlene Dietrich, a trailblazer in the LGBTQ community, 1930. There's a photograph of a man in a German army uniform. He's wearing a helmet. He has a rifle. He's smiling. He's in a group of other men. There are two other men in the photo. They're also wearing helmets and uniforms. One man is holding a bottle. The other man is holding a cigarette. They're all smiling. David Easom, 19, broke the colour line in a segregated pool in Florida on June 8, 1958, which resulted in officials closing the facility. During World War II, aircraft listeners, which is now an obsolete job, required a person using an acoustic locator to detect distant aircraft. Courting in the 1800s never looked better. An Ainu woman with a traditional facial tattoo in 1930 Japan. Two women watch United States soldiers setting up anti-aircraft missile launchers on a beach in Key West, Florida, October 26, 1962. Hippies at the original 1969 Woodstock Festival sell LSD for just $1. Jenny McGregor, arrested by Minneapolis police on April 10, 1924, for dispensing alcoholic beverages from life preserver flasks. Warsaw Ghetto, Poland. Mobile phones were predicted 59 years ago. It was predicted in 1963 that we would have mobile phones in the future. Zoom in and have a read. New Madrid County, Missouri. A child of a sharecropper is cultivating a field in 1938. People are watching a Chicago Cubs baseball game outside Wrigley Field in 1932. A bride steps out of her recently bombed home to attend her wedding, symbolising resilience during the London Blitz. London, November the 4th, 1940. Malagasy prisoners during the Franco-Hova Wars, which led to the fall of the Merina Kingdom and Madagascar becoming a French colony. Madagascar, around 1895. Okay, here's what I've got. A mum and her 3 kids on a Boston street in the 1930s. Pablo Picasso, 1904. A coal miner's child attends grade school in La Junior, Harlan County, Kentucky, reflecting the challenges of working-class families, 1946. Crew member T.A. Petrus stands behind the snow cruiser on September 20th, 1940. Medical students staged a macabre tableau with preserved cadavers crowding an examination table labelled A Student's Dream. This was in an anatomy laboratory in the USA around 1910. Chetak helicopters were used by the Indian Air Force for ceremonial flyovers in the 1970s. The ecstasy of jazz. Jazz fans are absolutely caught in the moment at a big Jay McNeely concert in Los Angeles, 1951. This television set, selling for $100, is said to be the first reasonably priced receiver made in large numbers. It was first shown to the public after the war at a New York department store on August 24, 1945. Alright, here we go. Delegation of Minnesota League of Women voters with a mile of signatures for World Court proposal. Young nurses, World War II. A woman carrying a sewing machine, Kuwait, 1955. School children are practicing gargling as part of a hygiene lesson aimed at promoting health. It was 1932. Okay, here we go. A lineup of men dressed as ladies in Brazil around 1913. Okay, here we go. There's an electrically heated vest developed for the traffic police in the United States in 1932. The power for it comes from electric contacts in the street. Chief Irontail cranking an early automobile, 1915. A Seattle Transit System Line truck at 3rd and Pike, June 1946. Irene Lay, 1937. Remember that photo of the construction workers having lunch on an unfinished New York skyscraper? Well, here's the photographer, Charles Ebbets, 1932. 2 Cub Scouts are taking part in Operation Shoeshine 1972. $3 million volts hit a car in the Westinghouse Electric Corporation in Pittsburgh for a lightning test around the 1940s. The passenger remained unharmed. Comfort lawn mowers. The power mower of the future is shown demonstrated on October 14, 1957. Okay, I can do that. Stonehenge repair, around 1919. Nuremberg trials, looking down on the defendant's dock, circa 1945 to 46. He's taking his cousin for a wheelbarrow ride, 1948, Corley Moor, UK. American Bantam that was used for ferry service over the Pudding River in Oregon, 1932. Samuel Reshevsky, age 8, is playing against several chess masters at once in France, 1920. Elizabeth Taylor visited Elton John backstage at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, 1976. Okay, I'm ready to transcribe. Let's begin. The Verrazano Bridge takes shape during its construction. It will soon become a landmark connection between Staten Island and Brooklyn. New York City, 1964. Crewmen hastily drag a plane with a flat tyre down the flight deck of the USS Lexington, which is CV-16, to make way for the next plane to land. November 21st, 1943. John F. Kennedy delivers a televised address from the Oval Office, surrounded by cameras, press, and technicians. The skeleton of a python has hundreds of ribs that run the entire length of its body. It has a skull and a lower jaw. The python's skeleton also has a backbone. Zvezda 5, 1955. (1914) Ritual dance of the Naquaktuk Indians wearing Hamatsa masks. The first photograph in human history was taken in 1826 by Joseph Nicephore Niepce. It shows a view from his window. That marked the dawn of photography. This was in France in 1826. Human zoos existed. This photo was taken in 1904, where the US government imported 1,300 indigenous Filipinos from different tribes to display at the St. Louis Exposition in 1904. An American officer and a French partisan crouch behind an auto during a street fight in a French city around 1944. Welsh athlete pioneer Ivy Russell and her house from around the 1930s. At one point, she was declared the strongest woman in the world. Kids are sharing a laugh in Nebraska, 1910. The United States during the Great Depression in 1930. Telegraph stations for political writers at the Republican, 1940. There was a proposed firefighting suit designed to drench the wearer in water. The idea was to offer protection during blazes, but it never gained popularity. Okay, here we go. 1950s General Electric stove-sink fridge combo. Okay, here we go. Tsar Nicholas II goofing around, 1899. The Statue of Liberty was photographed in Paris, France, just before it was disassembled and shipped to New York in 1884. Before dirigibles had pilot cabins, England, 1917. Salvo, the paradog. These dogs were dropped behind German lines to accompany Allied D-Day troops and sniff out mines. Antarctic explorer Harold Hamilton stands beside the massive skeleton of an elephant seal, highlighting the scale of Antarctic wildlife, 1911 to 1914. There's a soldier and his cat at a camp in Cyprus in the year 1956. London, 1962. The first American aircraft carrier. It was converted from a coal cargo ship, the USS Langley, 1928. (1961) Excavations in Pompeii. Lumberjacks in the Forests of Northern California, 1915. An anti-communist revolutionary holds a Molotov cocktail behind his back during the 1956 Hungarian Revolution. This is an early design for an electric hairdryer. White-coloured. The ornate skeletons of Rome's Capuchin crypt. This crypt contains the remains of 4,000 different individuals. This was taken around 1900. Marilyn Monroe with a second husband, baseball star Joe DiMaggio at the Banff Hotel, Canada, 1953. Sun-Girl Quest place-getters posing at Sutton's Beach in 1953. An empty stomach, an empty wallet and a broken heart can teach you the best lessons of life. Robin Williams. No lycra in sight. The Gentleman of the Kendall Green Bicycle Club, Washington, D.C., USA, 1884. Gunner Hector Morgan returning home, 1945. An eye clinic in Tainan, Taiwan, 1962. A man and a child. The man is throwing knives. There are 3 knives in the air. The child is standing in front of a wooden board. The child is wearing a striped shirt. The man is wearing a hat. Here we are, a girl in her dorm room in the 1970s. A boy is between 2 mounted lobsters. They were caught off the New Jersey coast in 1916. Bell Telephone's picture phone, 1964. North Korean civilians in Pyongyang surveying the aftermath of a bombing by American planes, Korean War. Jack Redmond, world champion golfer, demonstrates his skills on top of the Whitehall building, 1930. A famous horse called Bess visits the Jefferson City Daily Capital news office on a tour of the country. The horse signs an autograph with a pencil in his mouth on January 18th, 1947. There's a lineup of girls in bathing costumes at the beach in the late 1930s. Okay, here we go. There's a nurse with a motorised baby carriage on a city street. Each of the president's eyes on Mount Rushmore was carefully hand-carved, reflecting the detailed craftsmanship required for this monumental sculpture. South Dakota, 1930s. From 1925 through 1927, the Rudge Whitworth Company introduced a line of touring accessories which have never been equalled by any other motorcycle manufacturer. This creepy man seems to be suffering from a bizarre medical condition. Cairo Mary, the bouncer at Shanghai Reds, is escorting a customer to the door in 1953. Rescued East African slaves aboard HMS Daphne, a British Royal Navy vessel involved in anti-slave trade activities in the Indian Ocean, 1868. Football helmets are tested in the early 1900s.